Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. RHOC cast sounds off on Teddi Mellencamp's rude behavior. Fans of The Real Housewives of Orange County had their jaws on the floor after the latest episode. Once a traitor, always a traitor showed Teddi taking a jab at her self-proclaimed nemesis, Vicki Gunvalson. Fellow RHOC cast members have weighed on what happened, and they're shocked by Teddi's behavior. Keep reading to see what they have to say. The women gathered to play a game. When Teddi Mellencamp greeted everyone in the room, she said, "Welcome Housewives and Vicki." The shade was unbelievable. As the camera zoomed in on Vicki's face, you could see how annoyed she was with Teddi's jab. However, she was going to stoop down to her level. RHOC fans know that Teddi and Vicki have been feuding forever, but it's hard to pin down exactly why they hate each other so much. Andy Cohen made an attempt at mending the relationship between the two women at BravoCon 2023. It only seemed to make things worse. Even if Vicki Gunvalson may have considered reconciling at some point, Teddi Mellencamp blew any chances of that happening with her most recent stunt. Fellow RHOC cast members reacted to Teddi's appearance in the latest episode of the show, and they weren't impressed with how she acted. It definitely wasn't funny in the moment, and Victoria was not feeling that. Jana Kirschenheiter weighed in. Shannon Beador pointed out her own reaction to Teddi's gross behavior. "If you look at me, you'll see I'm rolling my eyes. I didn't think it was very nice," she said. Heather Dubrow spoke up during the scene on RHOC, expressing that she didn't like Teddi's comment about Vicki. "Didn't I say to Vicki, that was so rude? Why did you have to be mean?" she said, before adding, "They don't like each other." Viewers weren't excited about how the RHOBA star treated OG Vicki Gunvalson either. In fact, many people weren't excited to see her on the show. "What have I done so badly in life to have to look at Teddi on my screen in 2024, one person wrote on social media. Another wrote, "Teddi, nobody cares who you like because you're one of the most unlikable people we've ever seen on reality TV." A third RHOC fan chimed in, "I'd rather die than see Teddi on my ever again. After all these years from being fired, she still brings nothing but a monotone voice and the walk of an elderly man." And a fourth viewer added, "Teddi is so unlikable, RHOC." The sun was setting over Orange County, casting a warm golden hue over the sprawling estates and manicured lawns. But the glow of the Californian sunset was nothing compared to the firestorm brewing among the cast of The Real Housewives of Orange County. The women, known for their glam, gossip, and the occasional glass of thrown wine, were more united than ever. United, that is, against Teddi Mellencamp. Teddi, the former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star, had recently made waves by joining the OC crew as a friend of the cast. But what was supposed to be a smooth crossover turned into a tumultuous ordeal. Thanks to Teddi's penchant for bluntness, some might call it rudeness, that didn't sit well with the veteran housewives. The tension had been building for weeks, ever since Teddi made her first appearance at Shannon Beador's health and wellness retreat. What was meant to be a serene weekend of yoga and green smoothies quickly devolved into chaos. Teddi, known for her no-nonsense attitude and direct approach, didn't waste time before offering unsolicited advice about the other women's lifestyles. "You know, if you really want to see results, you should probably lay off the wine," Teddi had quipped to Shannon, whose love for the occasional glass of Chardonnay was no secret. The remark, meant to be helpful, was instead taken as a personal attack, and Shannon's icy response was the first crack in what would become a shattered relationship. Tamra Judge, who was no stranger to conflict, had been the first to voice her displeasure in a confessional. "Teddi walks in here thinking she can just start telling us what to do. I don't need someone half my age telling me how to live my life," Tamra sneered, her eyes flashing with indignation. She might be an accountability coach, but she needs to learn how to be accountable for her own behavior. The other women quickly rallied around Tamra. Gina Kirschenheiter, usually the peacemaker of the group, didn't hold back either. "Teddy's got this I know best attitude, and it's not cute," Gina said during a shopping trip with Emily Simpson. "I mean, who does she think she is, walking in and acting like she's the queen bee? This is the OC, honey, not Beverly Hills." Emily, ever the pragmatist, nodded in agreement. "It's like she's trying to fit in by showing she's tough, but it just comes off as rude. We've all been through a lot together, and she just doesn't get it." Things came to a head at Heather Dubrow's elegant dinner party, a night that was supposed to be a celebration of friendship and renewal. Heather, always the epitome of class and sophistication, had gone all out with the decor, the menu, and even a surprise musical performance. But as the champagne flowed and the night wore on, Teddi's behavior became increasingly erratic. It started innocently enough, with Teddi engaging in what she probably thought was harmless banter. But when she accused Nola Bergener of being overly dramatic about her recent divorce, the room went silent. Nola, who was still reeling from the emotional turmoil of her split, looked at Teddi as if she'd been slapped. "You have no idea what I'm going through," Nola said, her voice trembling. "It's easy to judge from the outside, but you don't know my pain." Heather, ever the hostess, tried to steer the conversation back to safer waters, but the damage was done. Teddi, either oblivious to the tension or simply not caring, continued to press, asking pointed questions about Nola's finances and the custody battle over her son. The other women exchanged uneasy glances, sensing that the night was about to take a darker turn. Finally, Shannon, who had been quietly seething for most of the evening, could take no more. "Teddi, you're out of line," she said, her voice cutting through the tension like a knife. "You've been here for 5 minutes, and all you've done is criticize and judge. You don't know us, and you don't know what we've been through." The table fell into an awkward silence as Teddi looked around, clearly taken aback by the sudden shift. "I was just trying to help," she began, but Tamra wasn't having it. "No, Teddi, you were trying to make yourself look better by tearing us down," Tamra snapped, "and that's not going to fly here." In the aftermath of the dinner party, the cast members took to their confessionals and social media to air their grievances. Gina, normally one to avoid drama, posted a cryptic message on Instagram. "Sometimes people think they're helping, but they're really just hurting. #NowherePlace." Heather, ever the diplomat, offered a more measured response in her confessional. "Teddi is a strong personality, and I respect that. But there's a difference between being strong and being rude. She needs to find that balance if she wants to be a part of this group." Even Emily, who had initially tried to give Teddi the benefit of the doubt, seemed to have reached her limit. "I wanted to like her, I really did," Emily admitted. "But you can't just come into someone else's world and start acting like you own the place. Respect goes both ways." As the weeks went on, it became clear that Teddi's time in Orange County was going to be anything but smooth sailing. The women had formed a tight-knit group over the years, and they weren't about to let an outsider come in and disrupt their dynamic. Teddi, for her part, seemed increasingly isolated, struggling to find her footing in a world where the rules were different from what she was used to. Rumors began to swirl that Teddi might not last the season, with some of the cast members allegedly pushing producers to reconsider her role on the show. Whether Teddi would be able to mend fences with the women, or if she would even want to, remained to be seen. But one thing was certain: the Real Housewives of Orange County had found their latest storyline, and Teddi Mellencamp was right in the middle of it, for better or worse. As the cameras continued to roll and the drama continued to unfold, fans could only sit back and watch as the OC Housewives did what they do best, turning real-life conflicts into must-see TV.